Hello and welcome to Bliss Oasis Ministries. My name is Patrick Ngugi and I'm a practitioner at Science of Mind Africa. And today, as we continue with our weekly connection, today we are going to talk about the power of oneness. We have always heard that we are all one. Everything is interconnected. It's one big mind. So can we explore this today as we talk about the power of oneness? So today, I invite you to reflect on the most profound spiritual truth ever discovered, the truth of oneness. And this is not just a beautiful philosophy of comforting religious ideas. It's a way of seeing life as the power to transform our relationships, our fears, our sense of purpose, and even the way we see our lives. And our guiding scripture comes from the prayer of Jesus that is found in John chapter 17:21, where he says that they may all be one, as you, Father, are in me and I am in you, that they may also be one in us. And then Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind philosophy, echoes this eternal truth when he says, there is only one life, that life is God's life. These two voices, one from scripture and the other from modern metaphysical speech. Sorry. These two voices, one from scripture and one from modern metaphysical spirituality, point to the same reality. There is only one life, one presence, one intelligence, one love expressing itself in countless forms. So today, let's explore what this means when we say there is only one life expressing through all creation. So you can imagine standing on a hill overlooking a vast forest. At first glance, you will see thousands of individual trees. Some are tall, some are young, some are flowering, others have lost their leaves. They may look individual trees, separate from one another, but beneath the surface, many forests are connected by one immense underground network of roots and fungi. What appear to be separate trees are, in actual many ways, sharing one living system. So nature teaches us what spirituality has always proclaimed. Life is interconnected. The ocean appears to have millions of waves, yet no wave exists apart from the ocean. Likewise, each of us appears separate. You, the other person, we all appear individual and separate because we have different names, different bodies, different histories, different cultures. But beneath every difference that flows the same divine life. Beneath every difference flows divine life. God is not divided into billions of separate pieces. There's one infinite life expressing through everyone. Every person you meet is another expression of the same life. Every creature, every flower, every child, every elder, every nation, every race, the forms are many, life is one. And so separation is an illusion. Most human sufferings begin with one mistaken belief. I am separate from God, separate from others, separate from love, separate from abundance, separate from peace. From that illusion grows fear. If I believe I'm separate, then I must compete. I must defend. I must compare. I must prove my worth. I begin asking questions like, am I enough? What will there be? Will there be enough, rather? Who is against me? Fear is born from illusion of separation. But spiritual awakening gently removes that illusion. When we begin seeing ourselves as expression of that one life, fear begins to lose its grip. Because how can life be against itself? How can love reject itself? How can God abandon expression of God's own being? Recognizing unity dissolves judgment. If there's only one life expressing through everyone, then every encounter becomes sacred. This does not mean we approve harmful behavior. It means we refuse to define people solely by their worst moments. Every person carries wounds we cannot see. Every difficult person has known fear. Every angry person has experienced pain. Every selfish person has forgotten who they truly are. When Jesus looked at people, he saw beyond appearances. He saw their divine nature. He looked at the fishermen and saw apostles. He looked at tax collectors and saw transformed hearts. He looked at sinners and saw children of God. He looked beyond behavior of being. Imagine what would happen if we began asking, not what's wrong with this person, but what pain might this person be carrying? Judgment softens, understanding grows, compassion begins. Compassion naturally flows from oneness. Compassion is not something we force ourselves to practice. It is a natural fruit of recognizing unity. If your left hand is injured, your right hand does not criticize it. It simply helps. Why? They both belong to one body. Humanity is much the same. When we truly know that we belong to one life, helping one another no longer feels like charity. It becomes an act of remembrance. Their joy enriches us. Their suffering calls for our love. Their healing blesses the whole. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality." Science agrees. Ecology agrees. Psychology increasingly agrees. Spiritual wisdom has always known this. We belong to each other. Living in oneness aligns us with the divine intelligence. One of the greatest promises of spiritual living is guidance. Life becomes less about enforcing outcome and more about cooperating with divine intelligence. When we quiet our minds, when we stop reacting from fear, when we remember our unity with God, wisdom begins to flow. Ideas come, solutions appear, doors open, relationship heals. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because we are no longer resisting the current of life. Think of a river. When we swim against it, progress is exhausting. When we align ourselves with its flow, movements become natural. Living in oneness means trusting the infinite intelligence is already expressing through us. Instead of asking, "What should I do?" we begin asking, "What is life seeking to express through me today?" That question changes everything. And now, living the practice of oneness. How do we practice this truth in everyday life? Begin with awareness. When somebody irritates you, pause and remember, this person and I share the same source. When fear arises, remind yourself, when fear arises, remind yourself, I live with one infinite life. I live within one infinite life. When envy appears, remember, the good available to another does not diminish my good. When conflict arises, ask, how would love respond? When you pray, don't pray as though God is far away. Pay from the awareness the divine presence already lives within you. Oneness is not merely something to believe, it is something to practice, moment by moment, choice by choice, thought by thought. And in conclusion, we see that Jesus prayed that they all may be one. He was not speaking about uniformity. He was speaking about unity. Like many instruments playing one symphony, like many colors forming one beautiful painting, like countless waves belonging to one ocean. The invitation today is simple. See beyond appearances, see beyond levels, see beyond divisions, see one life everywhere. When you look into another person's eyes, silently remember the same life that lives in me lives in you. And when you awaken each morning, affirm with confidence, there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. I choose to see unity instead of separation, love instead of fear, compassion instead of judgment, and wisdom instead of confusion. As I awaken to oneness, I become an instrument of peace in the world. May we leave this place seeing the world with our new eyes, not as strangers living side by side, but as unique expression of one infinite presence. Thank you, and may the awareness of oneness guide our thoughts, our words, and your life every day. Thank you very much for being with me up to this moment. Remember, this is a weekly connection, and every week we'll release one video until a time when we shall be going live, for which you'll be informed. Thank you, and may God bless.